Hey, what's up everyone? It's Duncan from 4xtouring.com. We are finally out doing a bit of camping. We are about 70 kilometers outside of Adelaide in the Adelaide Hills. We're in a private property, but it's available to anybody, so I'll leave a link in the description below exactly where we are and you can camp. It's a beautiful place and beautiful day. We were to have come about a week earlier and last minute we cancelled because it was gale force winds and rain. Alright, first things first, before we start setting up camp, I'm gonna get the solar blanket out and help the battery along because I've got fridge running at the back. Alright. Fortunately, we got plenty of sun out today, so the blanket will get a full charge going. We're going to try and spend 2 nights here, 2 nights, 3 days. And it's going to be parked in one place, so this is going to help. So that's the solar input for my DC charger, and yeah, that goes in there, and then the other end into my blanket. All right, that's done. So it's a lot of direct sunlight coming in, so that should start keeping the battery happy. And now it's time to set up the camp. We are actually thinking of getting one of those self-standing 270-degree awnings. So much easier to set up and you get a wider footprint, but for the moment we're going to still work with this one. Why bother with pegs when you can do this? Done. And I did it all by myself. I'm kidding, Ajanie's behind the camera. And one of the things about these awnings is it can be done by a single person, but can be a little bit of a mission. So in between filming, Ajanie did help me get this up. So it was a 2-person thing, and that's another reason I want to try and get one of those self-standing awnings, but that'll be down the track. So to Ajanie behind the camera, thank you. Those of you who've been following my channel will remember these collapsing type chairs I bought, front runners. Not sponsored by them. I found them so useful They might not be the most comfortable of camping chairs out there, but it's the convenience of setup and also storage. It just sits in a corner inside the back of Dicesaurus, so it's so easy to set up, and like I said, takes a very small footprint. I'm going to get the other one. But talking of comfort, I mean, it's not like it's uncomfortable. It's really good. We both quite enjoy it. But what I meant was, there are, you know, the type of chairs that if you want to, you know, couch down and get a lot more comfort, this is not it. But like I said, it's the convenience that I really like about these chairs. And there you go, it's all done. Trying out a new tent. So we've always been carrying a swag, and the swag is still in the car, but there's a new one I'm going to try out, so keep watching. I'm curious myself to find out if that's really going to work for us or not. If it does work, well, that'll be great, because it takes up so much little space as compared to a swag. Now, nothing more like a swag, but we'll see how this goes. Now that I've laid the ground sheet, what I do is I carry these are actually exercise mats, which I carry at the back here, and these ones you can buy just about from anywhere, like, you know, any hardware store, exercise store, departmental store, and so on. And what I do is I use a few of these for the area where we shower, which I'll show you in a minute, and then the rest I lay on the ground sheet, and then I put the tent over it. And the reason I do that is, in my theory, it prevents that dampness or cold being transferred from the ground into the tent. So it's just something I do. If you have a different way of achieving that, please do share. But I thought these are cheap, easy to carry, lightweight, and it pretty much just does the job. I've used it for quite a number of camping trips now, and it seems to have done the job. So I just lay them down, and they interlock as well, so it makes it so much easier. So this is the new tent I got. It's actually from Amazon. I don't think it's much of a heard brand. It's called Nature Hike. But the setup seemed, well, I got enticed by an advert that ran on Amazon. So I thought I'll give it a shot. So we're trying it for the first time today. So in the morning or at the end of this video, we'll tell you how it worked out or not. But it's the convenience factor of sitting up. And quite honestly, if it works, then what that means is I can chuck this at the back without having to have the swag in there or on the roof. So let's see how this works out. This camping trip would be a good test. All this gear, well, most of it I do get from Amazon, some of them from 4x4 stores or outdoor stores. But whatever we get, I leave a link on our website, 4bytouring.com. Full disclosure, if it is from Amazon, I do get affiliate commission. The price doesn't change for anyone buying. It's just something that helped me out. And all the gear that's listed on our website are gear that we've used. So I'm not loading it just for the sake of getting a sale. So if you want to check out some of the gear that we use, head on over to 4bytouring.com, go to the store and check it out. So this tent here is, I did try it at home once, but using it for the first time here. Now this setup is, ideally what you do is lay it out, get all the legs stretched out like that. Ideally, all you're going to do is lift it up like so, and voila, as they say. So that was it. It was easy to put up and then just lock these legs in. That's it. Now the question would be the material, how good it is keeping the cold out. So we'll find that out soon enough as the night falls. But in terms of setup, it was really easy as it's advertised. Okay, so ideally when you get one of these ground tents, one of the things you got to get is a mattress. But because I'm trying it out, I'm not too sure whether it's going to work or not. I'm using the mattress from the Swag. But if you're going to go for one of these ground tents, then obviously it goes without saying you have to get yourself a good enough mattress. And one thing I must admit is that the mattress we've had in our Swag has been quite comfortable. I forget what the thickness of it is, but it certainly has been very comfortable. And if Ajanie is happy with a mattress, then that means it's a good mattress. So I'm using that for the moment, but if you're going to stick with this tent long term, then obviously I'll have to find like a self-inflating mattress or something of that sort. Yep, that fits perfectly. Beautiful. Now those of you who've been following my channel for a while would remember that I some time back got myself one of those gas-powered water heating systems. Now that was quite good. It worked very well and it heated up water really well. But the problem I had with it is it was pretty cumbersome to carry around, and with limited space that was quite the problem for me, because it took a fair bit of space. Not a huge amount, but every little bit of space counts. And I've been trying to find a lighter way to achieve the same result. Now that kind of a system is ideal, and if you missed that video, go take a look. I'll leave a link in the description somewhere above. Now that system is brilliant if it is mounted. So ideally, if you've got the space, then mount it somewhere, or if you're pulling a camper trailer, ideal. Caravans, of course, it's even better. But for me, it just didn't work purely because of the space and also kind of setup time. I've got to get it out, get the gas bottle out, hook it all up. It was a little bit too much work for me. So I've decided to go back to basics. Now why I say back to basics is this is not some brand new development or product that's in the market. It's been around for many years. In fact, when we were overlanding back in Africa, that was going back 15 odd years ago, we had that and it was quite effective and it worked very well. It's got its limitations, but it really works. So what it is first of all, in terms of storage, it's easy. It's just a little bag. It sits right there, and it's a very simple product really, and all you do is it's a 20-liter bag, and that's what it is. It's a very simple product. Got it from Amazon, yeah, and you can fill it up to a maximum of 20 liters. Leave it in the sun for about 2 hours and it warms up quite well. Now it's not instant, so obviously with the system I had before, it's instant. You set it up and then immediately you got yourself warm water. Whereas this is not the case. You got to at least leave it for about 2 hours and you need a fair bit of sun. I have yet to try it on a day when it's overcast. I haven't, so I can't tell you how it works on such a day. But today is glorious sun, so it's going to work well. I know it for a fact. Now, if you're the kind of person who gets to campsite pretty late and you set up, then this kind of system may not work for you. But for us, we generally like to try and set up camp. Even if you're doing a long remote trip, we like to set up camp at least 2 to 3 hours before sunset and just take in the sights. So for us, I felt this might work. So here's how it works. So let me show you. Okay, so the water is coming from our 75-liter bladder that we got at the back of the back of Diphorus. I did do a video on it some time back. We've had it for about 7 years, so it's about time I did a long-term review. It has worked very well for us. It's easy to install. We just hang it on the cargo barrier at the back. and it's taken a fair bit of punishment. So I will do a long-term review down the track. If you'd like to know more information, please leave it in the comment section below. So 75 liters is a fair bit of water it carries. So I'm going to use the mat, which I'm going to use for the shower, as a base, because I just don't want this to get dirty with dust. And then all you do is lock the, which I forgot to do, close the cap and leave it in the sun like so. So it's 2:15 right now, so by about 4 o'clock, perhaps 5 o'clock, it's daylight saving time now, so it gets dark pretty late. We should have a fair bit of warm water to take a shower. So for those of you who are new, this pull-out was custom built because I love carrying these boxes, and each box then we label, depending on the trip, how much we're carrying, and I label the box according to what is in it. So right now we just want to get the box out, which is for all the food that we're going to be using over the next 2 days, and on top, strapped down, is our table. Connection for our gas bottle, for the gas stove, and also I've got a gas lamp which fits onto the top there. So one of the things I try and do is, I can easily get lights from what's installed onto Diceros and use those lighting and not bother with this. But what I try to do is I try and keep a minimum of load on the electrical system. Even though I know my electrical system can handle it, I try and keep a minimum amount of load as much as I possibly can. So I carry all this. It's really not so difficult. They don't take a whole lot of space or weight. And the final touches to the camp setup is my hammock. I love sleeping in this thing, so I'm gonna get that set up as well. There you go, let's go. Wake me up when it's time for dinner. Now it's fire ban season for us, so those of you who are not in Australia, during the summertime when the heat temperature levels are up, it's called fire ban season. So we cannot have fires, because you probably would have heard on news how fires spread vast here in Australia. So it's fire ban season for us now. So this is we're in the early parts of February, is fire ban season. And therefore we can't have campfires going. Now I love campfires, but we've got to understand the reasons why it's not allowed. But the owner of this property, what he's done is he rents out heaters, which is left in the shed which is next to the campsite. And a heater, a gas-powered heater, that'll be ideal when the temperatures drop in the evening. It's $10 per night, so it's very reasonable. And so I've just got to get it onto this and wheel it to the campsite, which is about 50 meters from where the shed is. Now there are 3 campsites here. So ours is right behind the shed. There is another campsite right here, and then one little bit further up, about 100 meters away. This campsite is ideal because this one's during outside of the fire ban season. You get a beautiful fire pit here. You can get fires going, and you can pretty much set up a caravan, trailer, whatever you bring. So it's pretty good here. It's pretty isolated if you enjoy that sort of thing. So in the past, when we used to go camping, we used to, for changing, taking showers and stuff like that, we used to take one of those folding type tents, which worked well. It was good, but the problem was, no matter how well it's pegged down, if a strong gust of wind came, it would topple down, and it still, it didn't quite work well for us. So eventually we got ourselves one of these. This is one of these shower tents, and it also works well as a changing tent if you want to change clothes and stuff. Now it's not a brand new product that's in the market. It's been around for a while. It's only now that I got myself one. It's very easy to mount, and comes in various different brands and at price ranges as well. And it works quite easily. So all you do is unzip, take the Velcro out, and it rolls down. It's easy as that. Then pull the two levers out, and there you have it. And it's quite nice. You've got plenty of pockets to put pockets on both sides if you want to put like your shampoos and whatever else that you use. You can also unzip here, and there, if you want to gain access. Now in our case that's not the case, this doesn't flip open, but if you got a ute or a wagon with one of those gull wing type windows, then this will be pretty handy because you can access whatever that you might have stored in there. Now in our case, like I said, it's not the case, so we're going to keep that closed up. And you can peg it down. Actually you need to peg it down, otherwise it won't stay firm. Now I'm not going to peg it all the way down because I'm going to, once Ajanie and I have taken a shower, we're going to fold it back, because I got a feeling the evenings are going to be a bit windy and it's no point having it out. So as soon as we're finished, I'm going to fold it up and zip it up again. So yeah, very convenient, and it's very useful. It's on the side of the vehicle, and I don't have to worry about winds blowing the tent down anymore. So that's another useful kit that we recently added to Diceras. And if you are thinking of something similar, think about it, shop around. There's a number of different brands out there that you can get these. So take a look at how it works for your budget. They're all pretty much well designed. The difference would be the material, how wearing or not it may be. This is, I don't know exactly what thickness this is, but it's fairly well thick, and I think it's pretty durable. It also depends on how well you look after it. So there is our shower tent. Alright, so it's been a couple of hours since I put this out in the sun to get warm, and I have a good feeling it will be really warm. And it's now almost 6 o'clock in the evening, time to take a shower, both of us. So that feels pretty warm. So all I do is take it into the shower tent, come on through, and I just created a, you gotta come inside with the camera. I just created a hook. This is a garden hook I had lying around at home. I guess I could modify it and get something far better in time to come, but it's going to serve the purpose. And there you go. And I've got my shower. So I'm going to try and see how the water is. I can already feel it. It's pretty warm in there, but I'm just going to. Oh wow, that's really warm. It's nice and warm. Yeah. So think about one of those, because I've just kept it simple. Like I said, it's got certain downsides as well. You've got to keep it outside for about 2 hours minimum to get a good charge. Not a charge, but good warmth in there. At the same time, if it is a bit of an overcast day, I'm not quite sure how that might work out. But it's simple. It's very easy to use. And I figure if it is an overcast day and it doesn't warm up as much as I would like it to be, I could just quickly boil some water and pour it in there, because it's designed to take up to as much as 40 to 45 degree heated water. So the material should be able to take, a fair bit of warm water from a kettle as well. So like I said, the idea was to keep it simple, and I think I'm happy with that. Eventually down the track I may get a system installed, but I don't know. At this point in time, I'm very happy with this, and it's a lot less cumbersome to carry around.
It's a Southern African version of sausages. It's called boerewors. Made out of this one is actually made out of beef and a lot of spices. This one is actually made in at a butchery in Adelaide Hills. It's so fresh and it's very tasty as well, and it's spicy. It's much spicier than your average normal sausages that you get in shops.
This is a new headlamp I got, and I did a unboxing video that's in the channel. When take a look. And I quite like it because it's got this white footprint. It's got a strip right in front, unlike the conventional type where it's just one bulky light in the middle. And this is the first time I'm going to try it out during camping. It's rather dark right now, and let's see how it works. There you go, pretty good. And it's also got this feature where this hand movement, I can switch it on and off. It's pretty cool. And yeah, it's really bright. I mean, it's not extremely bright, but it's bright enough. I quite like it. Morning everyone, it's day 2 for us. A little bit overcast as we woke up. It's now 9 o'clock. According to the weather forecast, it's going to clear up and be sunny skies like we had yesterday, so fingers crossed. I'm hoping for that. Let's go and check what Ajanie is up to, and I'll give you an update on the tent which we tried for the first time, and overnight what I thought about it. So that's a little bit later on the video, so keep watching. So what's for breakfast?
This is tea actually.
What tea?
Just tea.
You're going to make chai tea, aren't you?
Chai tea, yeah.
Would you mind telling everyone how you make your chai tea?
Oh, just tea bags.
So you put the tea bag, you boil the tea bags, right?
Yeah, with ginger.
So you put ginger in there?
Yeah, already.
So everyone, those of you who are interested, so that's tea bags and ginger being boiled together, and then?
Then add milk and then condensed milk.
So add milk and then condensed milk.
Yeah. And then sugar if you want.
Yeah. So that's our version of chai tea. And the chai tea is done in many different ways, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
so
yeah. Typically, it should have more spices like cardamom and cloves and other spices as well. But I'm only putting ginger. Now adding condensed milk. How much is really up to you. One, I probably would put about 2, maybe 3, I don't know. depending. I will taste and see.
Well, as they say, all good things must come to an end. So, well, we've done our 2 days and we're about to pack up and head back home. It was really good. We enjoyed it thoroughly. The weather was good. It got warm during the day. Yesterday it hit about 29, 30 degrees. Today is going to be pretty similar. The previous day was about 27. Yet under the shade, in this particular campsite, under the shade, it was really nice and cool. And there's a slight breeze that comes through, and that helps all the more and makes it really nice. So it was really, really good. We enjoyed ourselves, relaxed. Ajanie got a lot of reading done, which is pretty unusual for her. But before I close off the video, I thought I'll give you some feedback on this tent. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this is a brand new tent we were trying out. It's something I just saw on Amazon, and I thought I'm trying to look at ways of getting it more convenient rather than having to carry the big swag around, because I'm not particularly keen on chucking the swag on the roof, and it takes up a lot of space on the inside. It's extremely convenient, this tent. Putting it up and collapsing it, as you'll see in a few minutes, is extremely easy. So the convenient factor, also once it's packed in, it takes up so little space. I can chuck it to the back right here behind this window, and that's a far cry from the swag, which pretty much takes up the entire length of the inside or the roof rack. But it is more of a summer type of tent. I don't think it'll really work in winter as far as I'm concerned, because the material is fairly thin, and on this trip we didn't have any dew falling on us. It was under the awning, so we didn't really get a test of it, and also it's not been humid at all. But during winter I got a feeling the cold will come in, so this is more like a summer camping tent that we will probably end up using. So if you are thinking of getting something for just for summer camping, then this is something to consider. It's from a brand called Nature Hike Outdoors. It's an Amazon product. There is a link to it I'll leave in the description below if you want to check it out. So it's good, but it's purely for summer. It's not really something that I would recommend for winter use. Ease of access, very easy to get into. There's 2 openings on either end, so you could, Ajanie could get out from her side and I could get out from my side. That was very easy. There is one little handy pocket on the inside. I wish there was a few more, but then again, for the price paid, which is little under $100, it was about $98 when I bought this for Australian. I guess you get what you pay for, so a few more pockets would have been nice. But it is something I would probably be keeping, as I said, for when we do summer camping. So now I'm gonna collapse it, and you'll get to see how easy it is to collapse it and pack it all away. Alright, so for unpacking, what you got to do is push this part up. It's a bit like an umbrella action, and you just pick that up, and then everything collapses like so, and then lay it on the ground, and then the legs can be folded like so. So just to give you an idea of the difference between this tent that I just showed you and the swag. Now I love the swag. Obviously the material is much thicker. It comes with its own mattress on the inside, so definitely that's where the size and weight comes in. But this is the tent that we just tried, and you can see the difference. It's chalk and cheese, and even in terms of weight, this is pretty heavy and this is extremely light. So that's the footprint in terms of space it would take up. So I'm leaning towards this for summer camping. Winter camping we'll probably still use our swag, but if I don't have to carry that, then that's a bonus. Now in this trip I used, because I wasn't too sure whether this was going to work or not, so I brought the swag as well. I also at the same time used the mattress from the swag in here. Obviously if I'm going to stick to this only, then I'm going to go for some other form of mattress. Could be self-inflating mattress or air mattress. Not particularly fond of air mattresses, but so those are things to think about. But I'm trying to reduce weight and space taken up. Now I have to admit, we have had a rooftop tent before, not in this 4B, but one we had before back in Africa. And once you've had a rooftop tent, you really want to stay with a rooftop tent, because that's so easy in setup. In terms of comfort, everything, rooftop tent is the way to go. We are thinking about it, but we've got a few other things we need to put in place before we make the final decision. So down the track, I think rooftop tent is the way to go, and Ajanie is already sold on it. She wants to have a rooftop tent. She's right behind the camera there. So for the meantime, in the interim, I think this is the way to go. So hope you enjoyed the camping video. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, hit the subscription button and the notification bell. Leave questions, comments below, and there will be a blog post coming up on the website 4bytouring.com of this place we've been to. And if you're in Adelaide, you want to get a quick getaway, this would be one of those places to consider. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video real soon.